Pokemon Pokopia keeps on going and helping to move a lot more Nintendo Switch 2s. We've got a big update on that and more, in addition to a bunch of great Nintendo Switch 2 news, new games that are coming out, another rumor that I want to go over when it comes to Metroid, Mario Kart, plus more. But before we continue on, we are giving away a Nintendo Switch 2. All you have to do to enter is hit that subscribe button if you aren't already subscribed, and drop a comment below. We are giving away a Nintendo Switch 2 once we hit 150,000 subscribers, and it will be random. So the more that you actually comment and interact, the better chance that you have to win. Hit that like button, click that notification bell, and let's go ahead and jump right back into it. Let's jump into Pokemon Pokopia, because this game just keeps on going for the Nintendo Switch 2. So here's what we know. We know that when it first launched, I think like the first 4 days, it sold over 2.2 million units, which was awesome. They put out a press release for that. This has all been great for Pokemon Pokopia, but now we have a bit more data coming in about exactly what this game is doing for the Nintendo Switch 2 sales. Now, we knew that the uptick was good, but now we have just a little bit of an indicator here from the UK. Christopher Dring is reporting that month-on-month sales for Pokemon Pokopia have jumped up 154% for the Nintendo Switch 2. Now, February is a shorter month compared to March, so there is an extra week there, but there's still a 154% jump. So Pokemon Pokopia, in one of Nintendo's weaker regions, the UK, not their strongest region, has been able to really turn the tide when it comes to the Nintendo Switch 2. It was already doing okay, but now it's doing incredible with Pokemon Pokopia. So that's definitely something that you want to see. Now, another thing here is that Pokemon Pokopia has been #1 on the US eShop, and I think also the Japanese eShop, for like the last month. Pretty much since it's been available for preload, it's been #1. No other game has been able to come out since then and overtake its spot on the eShop. So you know it's putting up incredible numbers, and it's the type of game that just feels like people are going to want digital a lot. We knew that based off of the Japanese sales, the digital uptake there was pretty good. They had sold over 500,000 units plus digital, and that was just right there at the beginning based off the press release that Nintendo had. So I'm pretty sure that the digital sales for this game are quite impressive. So we're going to find out exactly how well it did for the first month, or just pretty much from that March that it launched all the way to the end of March. We'll find that out next month in May when Nintendo has their investors reports and their meetings and all of that. Now, another thing here that kind of shows that Pokemon Pokopia is that massive system seller that Nintendo maybe was anticipating is that if you go over on Amazon, they're still back ordered with this game. If you want a physical game key card version of the game, you're going to have to put in an order, and it's going to come like a week or so later. So this game continues to be in high demand in pretty much every single region. But the Nintendo Switch 2 system itself has jumped up the Amazon charts. You can kind of see how much the distribution is, like 10K, 20K, or 30K in the past month, depending on what Amazon is doing. And the Nintendo Switch 2 was around, I think, 20K or so. So it was averaging pretty good, higher than most other systems. But now it's going over 50K when it comes to the Nintendo Switch 2 on Amazon. So a lot more people in the past month, which was March, picking up the Nintendo Switch 2 and just thinking, I'm going to get this for Pokopia and all the other games that are coming out. So Nintendo Switch 2, big uptake in UK, big uptake here in the US when it comes to the Amazon sales charts. Big uptakes pretty much everywhere with Pokemon Pokopia, as this is turning out to be a true system seller for Nintendo. So Nate the Hate, he put out a bunch of big rumors / leaks with the next round of games that are coming. We should be getting some pretty exciting games coming up here. So I'm looking forward to seeing how all of that is going to play out with Nintendo's lineup for 2026. But Pokemon Pokopia starting things strong. A lot more Nintendo Switch 2 users down at this point. And I think that from this point on, especially as Nintendo starts announcing some of their next games and they get into the next big Nintendo Direct, Switch 2 is going to continue moving some pretty good units over the course of the years. So what do you guys think about Pokemon Pokopia? Still doing incredible here? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, next up, we're going to talk about the Super Metroid rumor I discussed this in a video not too long ago, but I wanted to go over it because I talked about the remake of Super Metroid quite a bit, but apparently there's going to be another new game, and I just wanted to go over what I felt about Mercury Steam and what we could be getting when it comes to Super Metroid Remake, in addition to a brand new Metroid game. So shout outs to Go Nintendo for the beat on this one. It says the rumor mill has been going strong lately. We just got hit with some big rumors about a potential Star Fox game and Ocarina of Time remake, and now more remake talk is here. This time has to do with the Metroid series, which just saw the release of Metroid Prime 4 Beyond back in December. According to a leaker going by Malo932 on YouTube, there is a Super Metroid remake in the works from developer Mercury Steam. This is the same team behind Metroid Dread and the Metroid Samus Returns remake on 3DS. Supposedly this remake would employ a pixel art style of some kind. In addition, it's been reported that Mercury Steam is also in development on a brand new Metroid game that would serve as a follow-up to Dread. Malo932 shared this rumor on the other day alongside the supposed leaks about Star Fox, Ocarina of Time, and the idea that a new 3D Mario game won't be coming till 2027. All of those rumors then were picked up and shared by well-known leaker Nate the Hate, so if there's any truth to them, it seems this Metroid news might be trustworthy as well. Of course, none of this has been confirmed or even hinted at in any way, shape, or form by Nintendo officially, so of course you take as a grain of salt until there is official confirmations. Now let's talk about this a little bit more. I have discussed the Super Metroid remake in a pixel style. That game is pretty much perfect. So I don't think that they really need to do anything much more than just bring it out with better controls. That's the only thing that brings down Super Metroid. It's one of the greatest games of all time, in my opinion. I love that game, but the controls and the wall jumping are just terrible when it comes to that title. So the only thing really that I can see them doing is taking that style, remastering it with some nice pixel art because it works well. It still looks good to this day, and then just fixing the controls. If they did that, then released it, I think people would be happy with that style of remake. When you remake it in a polygonal 3D type of way, sometimes you might lose the essence of what that game was and the time period that it came out in, so you have to be careful with things like that. There were some talk about Metroid Samus Returns and how people felt that maybe the art style kind of took back on some things, but generally speaking, I know people did like Metroid Samus Returns. I think some just felt that maybe they should have used like a Game Boy Advance style of art for that, updated to that type of level, because it was originally a Game Boy game, but that's fine. At this point, the game is going on a decade old. Now, let's talk about the new follow-up to Metroid Dread. I think that this is something that they've been working on for quite some time. A pixel remake of Super Metroid wouldn't take too long when it comes to making something like that, but a brand new Metroid game, it seems like they're taking their time, and 2D Metroid is going to be back in some way. And why wouldn't it be? 2D Metroid has been incredible for Nintendo. Since 2021, Metroid Dread has sold over 3 million units. It's the best-selling Metroid game of all time. Now, I don't think Metroid Prime 4 is going to be able to top that based off of the reviews and based off of what we've seen so far. Now, it could. It sold 1 million units already, and there's a long generation ahead of it, so it could. But I do think that a new 2D Metroid game would be highly anticipated, and a lot of people would be looking forward to playing something like that. Now, Metroid Prime 4 just came out last year in December, so it's probably going to be a little bit before they announce this game. I would guess that it would be announced next year in 2027 and release that year. I don't think it's going to be something that's announced this year. I think it's going to be next year and released that year. That will be going on 6 years from the original 2021 release of Metroid Dread. So I think that's a nice gap in between the games. I think it gives them plenty of time to get out that remake in that pixel style, if that's correct, but then really take their time and create something incredible when it comes to the next 2D Metroid game. Metroid Dread was an incredible experience from start to finish. I love that game. I think it's really good, but I don't think that it's going to be a direct sequel when it comes to following in the same footsteps of the gimmick, like the whole Dread, the Emmys and all that. I think that, yes, the story stuff, they can follow up, but I don't think it's going to have the same gameplay hook. I think they're going to create something new for that game. Considering how much time they're taking, I don't think it's just going to be, oh, here's some more Emmys and different style of them Plus, Samus also eradicated all of them. When it comes to that, maybe there's some pockets or some different ones that were other places, but I'm guessing they're going to make a 2D Metroid game that's even bigger, badder, and better than what we saw with Metroid Dread. So I'm excited to see what's next from Mercury Steam and Nintendo when it comes to 2D Metroid action. So what do you guys think about this dual rumor here with a brand new 2D Metroid game in addition to a Super Metroid pixel style remake on the Nintendo Switch 2? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, moving on to the next topic here, guys. We've got a high-speed third-person running game called Haste that got a surprise release on the PS5, Xbox Series, and the Nintendo Switch 2 for only $20. The game originally launched on PC via Steam on April 1st, so about a year afterwards, we've got console ports for this game, and it actually looks pretty good. So let's check out what Haste is about. So Haste is a high-speed third-person running game set in a collapsing universe. Race through a variety of worlds, master your movement, and use items and abilities to progress through each level before it falls apart around you. The game consists of 10 shards, each featuring a collection of procedurally generated levels that must be completed without fail to unlock the next. You'll encounter challenges and characters on your journey, seeking answers about what lies behind the destruction, and now escape it. So master your movement, you've got items, procedural worlds, cooperative running. Oh, let's check out cooperative running. You can now play through the entire game with other Zoes. It's cooperative in that you work together to progress, but we keep track of the player times and levels, which allows for some friendly and pleasant competition to keep your friends apart. We have unlockable skins. Let's talk about some more of these key features here too. You got third-person high-speed running gameplay, both single-player and online cooperative running, 10 shards, each featuring a collection of procedurally generated levels that must be completed without fail to advance to the next shard, over 90 items that let you customize your build for each attempt to clear a shard, a story to explore, and a lovable cast of characters to befriend, 4 spectacular biomes with several different variants, 4 abilities to master, and 4 different bosses to discover, and an unlockable endless mode. So this game looks pretty cool. I saw it, I looked at the trailer, I'm like, okay, this is like an interesting indie type of game, but it actually looks pretty nice here. So if you're into kind of like Sonic style or into like the auto runners and platforming, Haste might be a game to check out. So what do you guys think about Haste getting a surprise release on Xbox Series, PlayStation 5, and Nintendo Switch 2? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next topic here. Let's talk about Mario Kart World version 1.6.0. We've got a brand new update that is out now. Bomb Blast added into the battle mode, plus a bunch of nice fixes. So let's talk about the different general things in here. So the added Bomb Blast as a battle mode, you can have up to 10 bombs on hand at a time. The distance the bombs can be thrown depends on how long you hold the L button. So pretty cool new mode added in there. They also adjusted the performance of Bullet Bill, which was a big thing here. Increased their range on lateral movement. It's now easier to follow a shortcut route immediately after using Bullet Bill. Increased Bullet Bill's speed on parts of the Bowser's Castle, Starview Peak, and Rainbow Road courses. They also adjusted the performance of the boomerang, reduced the boomerang's range, reduced the number of consecutive throws allowed, adjusted the probability of items that can be obtained from item boxes during races, adjusted the invincibility time after spinning or crashing during a race so that it varies depending on the character and vehicle. Okay, so giving a little bit more individuality and strategy when it comes to what character you pick after getting hit. Okay, the heavier the weight, the longer the invincibility time. Made it so that you won't get crushed by things such as thwomps while spinning or crashing. It is now possible to be hit by lightning and spiny shells immediately after being crushed by things such as thwomps. Made it to where things like bombs and bananas don't bounce on top of the vines of the ivy piranha plants. When playing single player or one player during online play and wireless play, up to 2 warnings will be displayed when items like red shells or spiny shells come from behind. They also shorten the time until the roulette stops to determine the course in online play and wireless play. So definitely a very good update. There's still a lot of people that are playing Mario Kart World, despite what some people will say online. You can find matches quite quickly. A lot of my audience still plays the game, and yeah, they're continuing to add and improve the game. Now, we still haven't gotten that big DLC drop that some are looking for, but I'm guessing that they're going to have something substantial since they are taking quite some time. I know that it took a bit of time before we got Mario Kart 8 DLC, and then of course the big DLC when it comes to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, that took some time as well. So I think this game is going to be around for a very long time, and they're just going to be updating it, making it better and better. And I feel that they are going to bring back the limited time bundle, because apparently the Mario Kart World bundle is limited. You can find it even now, but I think they're going to bring it back for like the holiday. Hey, you can get this for this price. And maybe if Nintendo can hold on to the price right now at $450 and $500 for the Mario Kart bundle, maybe they can say for Black Friday you can get Mario Kart World and you can get the Nintendo Switch 2 for $450 instead of $500. I think that would be perfect, and if they can just hold on to this price, Mario Kart World can continue to help sell the system along with Pokopia and other big games coming out this year. So what do you guys think about all of these updates to Mario Kart World and everything else that we talked about? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, click that notification bell, and check out my other Nintendo Switch 2 RPG content and more right here on screen. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace.